Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, as you can hear in the background, there's a little bit of Hotel California. And with Hotel California, I'm in California and I'm driving near a hotel. Just imagine that. Yes, I know the song is about prison. Okay. Yes, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me turn down my music this moment. It is 5:13 a.m. Went to sleep at, I think it was 12:20. Woke up at 4. And today, this is my business I'm taking care of. And as soon as I get back home, I have to take care of your business because I don't have time to take care of my business. And I am getting ready to do something. So I'm going to let you guys in on something, let all of you know. I've told this to several people, been knowing about this for years. There is this thing, I want you to pay attention to the phrase. Now, they're going to pretend that they don't know what it is. So go to ChatGPT, say, ChatGPT, in the state of, and name your state, what is over-the-counter property? That's all you got to ask. And it's called OTC. Just like you get over-the-counter drugs, you can get over-the-counter property. Okay, they sell that stuff like hotcakes. And the reason why you want over-the-counter property, I know, I'm putting you guys on game. The reason why you want over-the-counter property, because these are properties that did not sell at a tax lien sale. All you're doing is paying the taxes. Shh. For those of you who are our clients and you're getting the mega pack, you're receiving your own nonprofit organization. You buy these properties in your nonprofit organization. They're tax exempt. Shh, don't tell nobody. That's a secret. And so when you do that, what you're looking for is properties that have foundations on them. You don't necessarily have to get properties that have foundations on them, but that's what you're looking for. Why? Because there's no zoning, no planning, no none of that stuff. You already have that. And you put a tiny home on it. And you put a tiny home 40 feet. And if you get the loan, okay, all you got to do is get a loan for $35,000. Well, actually, if you get a loan for $50,000, seriously, you can put the tiny home on. You can go to YouTube, type in cheap solar panels. All you need is 20 of them. And then you get a inverter, battery, it's an inverter, MPPT charge controller, all in one unit. Okay? Hooks up to the solar panels. Costs you about $1,000. Solar panels will cost you, all 20 of them, about $1,000. Okay? The tiny home, because the prices are going up, because too many people are getting involved, will cost you about $20,000 for a 40 by 20. You're looking for a 40 by 20, you're looking for the container, expandable tiny home. Now, why expandable container tiny home? The reason why you want a container expandable tiny home, because it's a 20-foot long container, 20 by 8, and it expands outward. The side walls come down, it creates another roof, and it creates another area where it's 20 by 40. You'll see it's pretty big. And you put that tiny home on your new found land. Hopefully it already has a fence. And all you need to do now is put in a septic tank. That's off-grid. Yes, you'll have to haul your water. It's okay to haul your water. Because I'm in California, and I'm going to say it, I don't like the company, but I was having Arrowhead bring my water on a monthly basis. And then you can get the water acclimation system. But I was having Arrowhead bring my water. But I don't do that anymore. I actually drive. I forgot to get my water containers this morning. I was supposed to do that this morning and I didn't do it. But I actually drive in, fill up my water containers and bring them back home. I have racks for them, and I have 20 bottles, 5 gallon. And literally, I don't have a problem with water. And there's your off-grid living. You got your solar, you got all the energy you need. Oh, and then you will need a septic tank to connect to your unit. There's your $50,000 home that you can expand, add to. You can even add another container. I'm putting two 20 by 13s together, giving me 26 by 40. And we're going to add another space in betwixt, which will make it roughly about 1,000 square feet by the time I get finished. We're adding more space to it. Now these, expandable tiny home cargo containers, want you to understand because most people don't get it. So let's see if we can explain it to you. These tiny homes, cargo containers, come with a restroom, piping already done, and it comes with a kitchenette set. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the kitchenette sets for the two different tiny homes, and I'm putting it in the middle section that I'm expanding it to. And by putting it in the middle section, I have double the amount of cabinets for one kitchen. Ta-da! All right. Like I said, putting you guys on game. I was kind of taken aback and kind of offended. Somebody who didn't know who I was. I mean, he knows me, but he doesn't know who I am. He sent me a video of this person talking about Eon. First of all, they think Eon is some acronym. Well, it is an acronym. It means energy equals oneness. But it's also, by divine providence, my name. Changed my name in 2016 to Eon. That's why you see it on all the videos. If only I could tell you guys. So let me go ahead and tell you. I'm driving, so we ain't got nothing better to do, and I'm hoping y'all can hear this because, that's just the way it is. I'm not doing this video over or nothing. I'm just driving, y'all. I ain't traveling. Well, I am traveling, but I'm driving, okay? I'm driving. I know where I'm going, know where I'm headed. I'm minding my own business. I'm not out in public. I'm in my private conveyance, okay? Private. This ain't public. All right. In 2021, I told all of you the experience I had in 2021, which was unique. And that experience, to this day, I profess it to be authentic. Well, in 2013, I was allowed to see about the pandemic. Now, that junk we just went through was not the pandemic. Okay, we told you about Miss Pauline Brown and how she went to Target and the people cut her off and pulled into her spot, and how she introduced herself to them. Well, what I got to see in our future is that happening everywhere, all day, every day. How the police, you notice how the police are not patrolling certain neighborhoods anymore? They're not answering 911 calls anymore? Well, that's what I got to see. So I'm watching this stuff unfold live right in front of me. What I got to see, I'm seeing. The pandemic I saw, when you guys were watching the footage of India and all the people dying in India during the so-called Democrats, the Planned Democrats. Okay, during that episode, I saw that on a worldwide scale. That's why I'm 100% positive it's about to happen again, but this time it's going to get way out of hand. You talk about lawlessness, things are about to be off the chain. Well, in the midst time, I was told that I would, and I'm just going to tell it to you like it is, would be known as Eon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm known as Eon. Everybody who knows me as Eon. Okay? Sorry. I get to realize that's a reality now. It's not something I was trying to make happen. Literally, I wasn't trying to make it happen. There was no need for me to try to make it happen. See, there's one thing to tell people something because, see, look, in my past, like everybody else, I said things that wasn't always truthful because I'm only human. Okay? And so, sorry, Jeffrey. Anyway, being human, oh, that means monster. No. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It means color of man. Hue, man. Lord have mercy. I just wish you guys to know, no dictionary can define me. To this day, nobody can define me. Okay? I define who I am. I tell y'all who I am. Y'all don't get to tell me who I am. There is no piece of plastic that can tell me who I am. Lord have mercy. I just wish people would understand these little simple set of facts. All right, let's continue in our little trip. So, the fact that I was made aware that I would be known as Eon, ladies and gentlemen, for eternity, I'm known as Eon. Eon means energy equals oneness. It simply means everything consists of energy. No matter where you go, no matter how you go, energy is everywhere. Energy is in everything. The God I serve says that He is dynamic in energy and abundant in power. Okay, He's the ultimate source of energy. The only problem is, as humans, we abuse energy. We don't use energy for the way it was designed. That's because of our stupidity. And so for abusing energy, we will have to suffer a price. You cannot just sit up there and damage His property and think you can go unscathed. All right. That's going to be that on that subject. I just thought I'd explain it to some of you because, sorry, some of you have expressed interest in that subject. I don't go into a lot of detail because that's a private thing, personal thing between me and the sovereign that I serve, the Lord that I serve, the God that I serve. You know, speaking of the Lord and God that I serve, why does that make people feel uneasy? That I say I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I serve the true God Jehovah. I do the best I can to obey Him. I would rather obey Him than obey me. Everybody else wants to live for themselves. People, why not live for somebody else? Why not be selfish? I choose Him. That's my choice. You don't have to agree with the choice, but it's mine. Aren't I allowed to make such a choice on my behalf? So let me have that. Yeah. I get at people for misquoting the Bible. You better believe I will. Because people are often telling me what the Bible says. But then when I look at it, it don't say that. Well, you guys made your own Bible. You guys? Who are y'all talking about? You guys. Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses made their own Bible? That's interesting. Okay, I guess they did, huh? Yep, especially since they used to use the American Standard Version, and then before that they used the King James Version. Then they realized all of the mistakes in those Bibles. Well, I'm sorry, purposeful mistakes. Why? Because they deliberately and intentionally took God's name out of the Bible. But that's not His name. Of course that's His name. He's the one who says it's His name. Look, it's called the Tetragrammaton. There are 4 consonants. That's what Tetragrammaton means. The 4 consonants. Go look up Tetragrammaton. It's associated with His name. The Jews, the real Jews, not these things that exist now, sorry, and it's the fact. These people who exist now are not Jews. They cannot prove they are Jews. They cannot prove their lineage. See, their entire history was destroyed by the Romans in, 70 CE? 70 AD. CE and AD mean the same thing. So in 70 AD, their entire genealogical records, let's just do it this way, all of their birth certificates for the entire nation, they were kept in one location. All of those records are gone. They are destroyed forever. So nobody can trace their lineage to being a natural Jew. No one. There's not a single person. There are no records that exist. Well, what about Josephus? He says he was a Jew. That's right. Josephus, Paul, Peter, everybody. but they cannot prove that they came from the descendants of Abraham because those records were destroyed. They didn't have computers back then. So just imagine if your hard drive crashed and you couldn't recover any of the files. It's gone forever and ever and ever, ever and ever, ever. Okay? Outcast. And that was the situation with those people. Oops. Sorry, Charlie. So, to make this long story short, the God I serve put together communications in a book. Why? Because if he had continued to speak to us throughout the centuries, one-on-ones, generation after generation, that would be just him repeating himself over and 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 over. You know what I mean? Again and again and again and again. I'm sorry. I tell everybody how I like repeat. I hate repeating myself. Can you imagine how he would feel if he would have to repeat the same thing to every single generation? So he put it in a book. That way you ain't got to worry about him saying it over and over and over and over and over again. But he did repeat himself. Why? Because you put something in the book, people say, well, they can change that, so we don't know if that's what it really said. Well, see, what he did is he put the same thing in the same book written by different writers saying the exact same thing. That's how you know it's him, because his book doesn't disagree with itself. If it disagrees with itself, that means you have to go check and see what was originally there, because you're going to find that they changed it. Why would they change it? Because not everybody who claims to be is what they claim to be. Could you say that again? Because I don't understand what you mean. Well, somebody says that they this, and then you find out they that, even though they said they were this, man, and you realize they really that? Well, with the King James, we found out years later, like 100 years later, exactly all the damage that he did, all of the changing that he authorized. Pay attention, it's called the King James Authorized Version. Who gave him permission? Well, all kings say they're ordained by God. Go ahead. Every king, every president Trump claims that they're ordained by God. That's because of the book of Romans saying they sit in a position of relative authority because he is the one who allows them to sit in that position. Okay? Look, it doesn't matter what people say. Even the people who claim evolution, they believe in God. They'll sit up there and say they don't, but they don't have a choice. Because when they describe nature, they're describing him. Nature has every single one of the attributes, especially the main ones: justice, wisdom, power, and love. Okay? They have in nature all of these attributes. Sorry, it's 5:30 and it's a pretty nice, serene trip that I'm taking because it's just dusk. The sun is just now starting to come up. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm listening to Knock, Knock, Knocking on Heaven's Door. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. I have a cable that's hooked into the auxiliary and it's got a short in it. I was supposed to change the cable out. I grabbed the wrong cable, and I keep saying I gotta grab that real cable, the right cable, and I keep forgetting to get it. Got 7, 8, 9 of them lying around because I was never using them. Oh well, that's just so you know. All right, let me turn this down because I don't want it interfering with you all being able to hear me. Because in a minute I'm gonna cut y'all off and go back to my music. You know what I'm saying, Vern? All right, so here we be. The reason why I serve Jehovah, the reason why I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses is not only because that's what he named us. We didn't name ourselves Jehovah's Witnesses. If you don't believe, let's go look at the book of Isaiah, the 43rd chapter, verse 10, 11, and 12. He says, you are my witnesses, but that's not the only time he says that. Then in the book of Revelation, it calls Jesus the first faithful and true witness. The first one. Okay? We are supposed to be his witnesses. We are supposed to be testifying about him, not against him. Come on now. Tell me. Hey, look at what's playing, y'all. Y'all gotta listen to this. Queen! It's Queen, y'all! It's Queen! I used to take Mercury. Sorry. I've always liked this song. I don't like the beginning. I've never liked the beginning. But, you know, he's an artist. He's an artist, so you got to give the artist his credit. It's his creation, and it's a cult classic. Okay? Anyway, back to the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to go talk to my mama. I put a gun against this. It's a very violent song, don't y'all think? Okay, very violent song. Anyway, in this trip right here, we were telling you guys originally about the homes and doing the over-the-counter properties. I'm sorry, I did leave some things out. When you go there, they're going to tell you that they don't know what you're talking about. So ask ChatGPT to create a letter for you. Find and tell ChatGPT to give you the current name of the tax assessor's office, the tax collector's office, as well as the, what's the name of that? Treasurer for the county. For your county or whatever county you're looking for the information in. You want to create a public records request. It's not a FOIA on a state level. It's a public records request or a public information request. They understand what either term means, so you don't have to go into detail. And then have ChatGPT put the actual law for your state, the statute. Don't worry about it. They have to go by their statute, so you give them their statute. You are not bound by their statutes, but they are. Okay? They're administrative agencies. They must comply with the statutes. Oh, no. Y'all got to listen because we got some talking to do. So y'all, man, sit down and listen because we got a lot to talk about before I cut y'all off. Anyway, and you put together your public records request / Freedom of Information Act request, and you have that letter with you. I have 3. 2 of them are signed because I'm going to hand them to each department, the treasurer's office and the assessor's office. The treasurer's office is going to tell me they don't have the information because they don't keep track of that. But of course they do. And why is that? Because we're going after over-the-counter properties. Over-the-counter properties are properties that did not sell at the tax lien sale. Well, who knows more about tax liens than the treasurer? The tax man? No, the tax man doesn't know more because the treasurer keeps track of who paid and who didn't pay. Okay, not a debt collector. Yes, that's right. The debt collector or tax collector, they collect debts. Why do you think we're trying to get you guys to get your credit so that you don't have any tax collector coming after you? Oh, by the way, the AmeriLegion programs, the fact that most people don't even understand what it did for people and what it's continuing to do for people, ladies and gentlemen, it's documenting the fact that you don't owe a debt. I'll explain that in a minute because I got to talk about the bankruptcy going after the estate. So I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, it's going to be one of them videos. This trip takes about an hour. I got about 30 more minutes of travel. Well, this one, I'm headed into the city, the real city, not the small cities. Normally, I just go into the small cities, but I'm going into the main city today. Okay, so right now I'm going into the main city, me and the main city, and we got to talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when you have this letter, you bring 2 copies with you, plus your own copy. You label your copy copy. For when you deliver the letter, you want them to stamp that front page of your copy showing it was received. That's your proof of service. Okay? I'm going to give them a reasonable time, but I highlight in my letter that they're the custodian of records. And under the collective entity doctrine, look up collective entity doctrine. They're required to have those records and to keep those records on hand. So ain't nothing we got to research, ain't no research. They are the record keepers. There is no research like the Federal Reserve want to tell you how they got to research. No, you don't have to research. You guys are the ones who are supposed to know this information. So all of this, our researchers, your researchers ain't did nothing. That's how they lie, because it's attorneys that are writing you back. And yes, you're going to get some attorneys writing you back on this. The reason why you're having a FOIA letter is because they're going to tell you they don't have that list. They don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you got to put that in writing. Okay? That's why you have to put it in writing. So I'm so glad y'all get it and understand it. There you go. That's how you get land for a little bit of nothing. Look, there's a young lady who is going around doing TikTok videos. And she's telling y'all this is what she's doing. She's not explaining that it's over-the-counter properties because she probably doesn't know it by that title. But she's talking about buying up trailers. What do you call those things? Mobile homes for $200 that are double wides, triple wides. Okay, people are talking about flipping these trailers. Okay, that's what they're doing. You guys can do the exact same thing. Okay, the reason why they don't advertise this is because the real estate market doesn't want you guys knowing about this, but this is public information. They have no control over it, but they work out things with I gotta turn down, every step you take is on the background. They don't want you guys knowing about this because they worked out deals with the realtors so as to keep the real estate market where it is. So can this crash the real estate market? You better believe it can. And I don't mind doing that. Look, prices are overvaluated. We know it, you know it, they know it. Okay, the banks and the realtors work together to keep prices high. There is no way in the world prices for homes should be as high as they are even now. The market should have started falling beginning of last year, then again beginning of this year. All indicators said it would, and then all of a sudden they started propping it back up. All of the actual reports show that the market is doing horribly, but they are propping it up, keeping it up. And then these companies, pay attention, these banks, these investment companies are coming in and buying up the homes. And then what are they doing them? They're not selling them, ladies and gentlemen, they're leasing them so that you guys will never be a homeowner. Well, you want to be a homeowner? Over-the-counter properties. Build your own home or build homes for other people. And the reason why you want to do a tiny home with a expandable cargo container, because it's not a home. It's a cargo container. No regulations. It's a cargo container. That's how it ships. That's what it's called. They can't call it anything else. And when you expand it, you're not building. When you expand it, you are not building. I am so glad y'all are understanding this. See, sometimes you think you got to explain things to people, but I ain't got to explain nothing to y'all because y'all know everything. You know what I mean? And so because it's not zoned as a home, you don't get taxed on it like a home. They don't give you you have to have this permit and that permit and this permit and that permit and so forth. Oh, by the way, plus you're a nonprofit religious organization. By law, you're not supposed to be taxed. Now, here's what I'm having in California. What California likes to do is California likes to tax everybody, including nonprofits. So I'm having to communicate with them that they don't have the right there is no law that gives them the right to tax me as a nonprofit organization. I am nonprofit automatically. I don't need their permission. I don't need to get a special exempt form or anything. I'm not a 501c3. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, none of our nonprofits are 501c3s. Ta-da! 501c3s, they have all the regulations. They need letters. I'm not a 501c3. All of the organizations I have, we're making all of them nonprofit organizations. All of them. We're no longer doing the regular corporation thing. We were already planning on doing this in the first place. I've already had a nonprofit organization that I acquired that was originally formed in 1933, believe it or not. So I have a 90-year-old corporation, and there's nothing they can do about it. You see, I'm exempt by act of Congress. That's right. Congress said this organization is forever exempt, and this county is trying to tax me. Well, I'm letting them know that, nah, y'all not doing that. I don't care who y'all think y'all is. So we're getting ready to go to court to get their attention because Congress wrote it in the law that it's tax exempt. They don't get to override the law. Ha. All right, so let's get past the home thing. That is the information, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you, everybody keeps wanting to, God, listen to everything that I just told you. Does it sound like I'm getting this information from someone else? Well, I am getting it from someone else, but that someone else is the one who helped me out and continues to help me out, the one that people say they don't believe in. His name is not his name. But I want you to understand something. As I said in a video to everybody that I did recently, talking about I ask for knowledge, wisdom, discernment, and understanding. Discernment, being able to distinguish right from wrong. Wisdom, understanding. I don't want to just know something. I want to understand what I'm trying to know. And that's why I keep telling people to do their own research. Most people talk about they do their own research. No, you don't. Because you don't research for understanding. You research because you're trying to accomplish something, and that's all you're focused on. Look, I need to know the root cause. I need to know the reason why. I need to know. That's me. Sorry, it's early in the morning, and we have a lot of people. I'm doing 50. The speed limit normally here is 60 miles an hour, but I'm doing 50 because I'm not in a rush. Oh, that's because you old. Old people, y'all drive slow anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Friday. The number one rule is never be in a rush on a Friday. That's where everything goes wrong. That's where accidents happen. You stay in your lane, mind your own business, especially these days, you will live a lot longer. I plan on living a lot longer. You feel me? All right, back to the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. If you pay attention to everything that I talk about, you'll see that it's a lot of information. But you don't hear me talking in generalities. You hear me telling you exactly what things are, telling you exactly where to go, quoting the exact law, stating this and stating that. And you can tell that I didn't watch somebody else's video to get it. Now, hold on. I need y'all to understand. There's this one, I can't even think of what's the name of his website. Ask the Man. Ask the Man. Now, I don't know the young man. I just seen his TikTok videos, and he's done a couple of them that's caught my attention. And what I mean by he's done a couple of them that caught my attention, he reminds me of me when I was younger. I don't agree with everything. Hold on now. Don't agree with everything, but for the most part, I like his attitude, and I like the way he goes at things. I have communicated on and off with the young man, but Ask the Man, caught my attention. There's another young man, and Free to Mind, the way he writes it, 843-DA Mind. That one, he curses too much for me, but he's on the money too. I do like the fact that there are other people who are telling you things. Now, Free to Mind, I like him because he knows, and he's not just telling you some things. Now, some things, yes, he's got it from other sources. I can tell that because of the way he talks about it. But for the other part, he's telling you from what he knows because he's researched it after he found out about it. That much you can tell as well. So give him credit is what I do. Okay? I'll mention people like those two only because they caught my attention. There are not too many other people on TikTok that's caught my attention because I don't go looking for other people. People ask, you know somebody's using your name on TikTok? Well, and I appreciate them for telling me, but the Eon.tv and the one that says TTOPP that has our symbol, those two are mine. I authorize those. So I have 2 channels on TikTok. The information on each is not exactly the same. It's like the Redress Right channel on YouTube and this channel. It's not, it's not exactly the same on both channels. Okay, yes, I have more channels on YouTube, but I only use 2 of them right now. The other ones are backups, okay, because they play games. So with that being the case, the TikTok thing, I like TikTok. TikTok technically is what YouTube used to be, but they added something to it. See, TikTok did what? That's why they're so mad at TikTok, because they want control. They want to control that many people. They know what TikTok is doing. They know how many people TikTok has attracted. Sorry, I'm looking at our sky and I'm looking at the road. I'm looking at nature, and this is a very comfortable ride, y'all. I'm not joking. That's why I moved to places like this. For this feeling right here. See, although I got maybe 3.5 hours of sleep last night and about 4 hours of sleep the night before that and about maybe 5 hours of sleep the night before that. Excuse me for clearing my throat. It's the air. Not in the car, the air. From outside, it's the allergies. And be that as it may, that happens. All right, so let's talk to you about the program, the Mega Trust. The Mega Trust is designed to give you control of your securities. Hold on. Let me make sure that you guys understand, because the one guy who caused us some problems because of his lack of understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have control of a single security. The United States control all property. Did you not read Senate document 43 of the 73rd Congress? Or 34, Senate document number 34, sorry, of the 73rd Congress? Go back and read it. The ultimate ownership of all property is in the state. All property. So guess what we did? The bankruptcy judge, he says, hey, oh, you know what? I got to check something, because this thing cuts off at a couple of minutes. So I don't know why it has a timer, so I got to make sure I'm still talking. All right. He said, you guys need to prove to us why the debtor needs a fee waiver. And he says, I'm going to give you an opportunity to rebut my presumption. So first, I challenge him using presumptions. And then they told him about how he had to show evidence of paying taxes. He says, oh no, don't have to pay taxes. First, the trust that is set up by the United States, for which they are the trustees, and this is a bankruptcy. Section 541 says you guys created the trust, so you are responsible. You are tax exempt, which makes the trust tax exempt. This is being filed on behalf of the trust, not behalf of the debtor. Ta-da! So no filing fees, it's exempt. But then I didn't stop there. I said, and second, you guys receive an annual budget. Administrative Office of the United States Courts pays your budget annually. So you need to justify where these fees are coming from and what they're for. That's one of the angles that we're going at him. But we're also explaining that because the United States created the trust and they're holding the securities, as has been evidenced by Congress by the March 9, 1933 Act and the Senate document 34 to 73rd Congress, no, he has got a right to attain the age of the majority as expressed in the Federal Registry. What do you mean the Federal Registry? Well, that's where Federal Code of Regulations come from. The Code of Federal Regulations, that's the Federal Registry, ladies and gentlemen. And that means that all of these agencies, government agencies, must follow the Code of Federal Regulations. That's how they regulate the federal government. Well, it says in there that a minor remains a minor until he gains control of the securities held in his minor account and is above the age of 18. Well, Minnesota Court Rule 220, the courts are unified. It's called the Unified Court System, just like you have the Unified School System. This is the Unified United States of America. Okay? So the court system is unified. So you just highlight Minnesota Court Rule 220 and unification of the courts. And because of that, it highlights all I do is put together an affidavit and attest that I have attained the age and I'm the owner of this certificate of live birth. And it is my aim, my goal, my providence to do what? Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Can't look down at the phone because I was doing 50 miles an hour. I told y'all, going through twisted and turning and pining and whining, you know. Ooh-wee. Anyway, back to the hotel. Look at that. I made pretty good time. I'll be in town about 30 minutes. It'll take me about 30 more minutes to get there. And then I have a meeting that starts at 7. All right, back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going after control of the securities. Well, if the securities are being held by the United States, well, the state, see, all property is held by the state, and mere ownership is by mere usury. So it's held by the state, and it's being done on behalf of the United States, which means the United States is holding access. And because they are, guess what? Then I'm going to probate court to get my securities and control of my securities, all of them, not just some of them. Well, that's bankruptcy court. Most of you guys don't know, and I know this because I did the research. Nobody did it for me. The bankruptcy court is a probate court. It probates estates. It is a court of equity. It has original jurisdiction over estates. Don't worry about it. I didn't get that because I came to some rationalization that it probates estates. I got that because the courts say that when you talk about infant estates. I put that information up after I did my research, and Boris, I am some dude. That's the information that was on the Eon channel, the original Eon channel that they took down and deleted all the videos, because that's what YouTube does. And so when you put out certain types of information, and so that channel talked about the infant estate more than anything else I've done, and they deleted all the videos. Oh well, life goes on, ain't it? All right. So, with that being said, that's how we're proceeding in bankruptcy court. Okay, the mega trust is to get control of people's securities. I got individuals like the one we told you about who's talking about, I don't feel comfortable you having control of my security. Nobody's got control of your securities. You don't have any securities to have control over. The United States has control of your securities. Go back and read the... Never mind. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We did not start a program to where we'd have to explain everything to everybody. That's not our job. We are providing a service, not an education. Not an education. So the mega trust, ladies and gentlemen, is designed to help you get control of your securities. It gives you a nonprofit organization where you can put all your property and acquire property in a nonprofit organization. Why would you want something in a nonprofit organization? Because first, it's tax exempt. Second, you are tax exempt. So because of that, you can accomplish a whole lot more with a nonprofit organization than you can with a for-profit organization. You can get more loans, more grants, and so forth. So try and check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come full circle. Okay, I was gonna let you go. I got a turn that I gotta come to, but I'm slowing down my speed. Ain't no other traffic. I just gotta watch out for the trees, George of the jungle. Anyway, goodbye. See y'all's